People on the Block is all about people working and the work they do. People on the Block, and today very special with Vinca of VincaUSA. Amanda,
yes.
So tell me about how did you get the name?
Oh yeah, so the name came from the very first design that I had, which was based on a little flower, which was a leather scrap from my parents' shoe factory. It's kind of a long story, but basically they made children's shoes, and one of the designs had a little flower on them. So there were a lot of little leather scraps around my whole life, and I was always playing with leather scraps. I decided I would make a collection of designs and try to take them door to door to sell them. And I used this particular flower leather scrap on all of my designs, and my mom said, "Oh, that's a Vinca flower." Mm-hmm. So the name stuck, and the original idea was actually to make a luxury leather goods brand, but it did not turn out that way. But my logo is still based on, like, my logo still looks as if that's what I was going for. It's kind of got those little bites taken out the corners, and it looks fancy with the serif font. I don't feel like the logo necessarily represents the brand now, but that's how it started, oddly enough.
And could you tell me about your background, Amanda?
Oh, sure. I always liked making stuff. I always was a very crafty person, into art. Wanted to be an artist, maybe an illustrator or a fashion designer, something like that. So I went to school, I went to an art high school, went to McCallum here in Austin for their art academy or whatever it's called. Did a lot of sculpture and painting, and what other classes did I take? Silversmithing, a lot of different things. And one of my teachers was looking at the little things that I made and said, "You know what, I think that maybe you're going to be a jeweler," which is interesting because I had never thought about that before. And then I guess that stuck in my head. I went to school, I wanted to apply to fashion design school, and my family said no. We're not sending you to New York to pay out the nose for fashion design school. You're going to stay in Texas, in-state tuition, pick something. And then through conversation with my mom, settled on advertising, because we were like, well, I actually already know how to make stuff, and she had gone to art school. Both of my parents had gone to art school, and they both said that it basically ate their soul. So they were very adamant that I'd not go to art school because it would kill my creativity. And they said, why don't you go do marketing, because then you can learn how to market whatever it is that you end up making. And that was a pretty good idea, so I did that. I went to UT for advertising, and I started the business in college, actually. And yeah, I really did go door to door with my tray and being like, would you like to buy these?
Like your jewelry?
Yeah.
Oh, this is before Vinca.
No, this was when I started Vinca, was in college.
Oh, in college.
Yeah, and then I went to stores because I thought that's what you did. I didn't know about jewelry trade shows or gift trade shows, or certainly didn't know how to run a website at that time, 2006. And there was no social media, so I thought that you just had to get into stores and send your stuff to magazines or something like that. So I just went into stores and said, hey, can I talk to whoever I just went into the stores and I said, can I talk to whoever does the buying? And usually it was the person behind the counter, and they would kind of take a look, and usually what happened was they would say, well, I can't buy it from you, but you're welcome to leave it here in the case, and then when it sells, I'll pay you. We can do it on consignment terms. So I probably did that with 3 or 4 stores in Austin, and one of them was paperwork. At the time, it was parts and labor on South Congress, and my stuff is still in there today.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, not the stuff that I brought back then, but you know,
the relationship that you built through the years. And the store is still around, because a lot of store has been closed. On South Congress.
Almost all the other stores I did that with are gone. The only other one is Blue Elephant next to Central Market.
That's my favorite store.
Oh yeah,
Blue Elephant. If you want to be on my podcast, let me know.
Yeah. So they are on consignment terms and paperwork.
Oh.
Previously parts and labor. Yeah.
Let's stop.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Love Thai Cuisine. Love Thai Cuisine is an amazing restaurant that offers both lunch and dinner options for Austinites, out-of-towners, and picky foodies. It's a culinary experience that comes right out of Thailand. Love Thai Cuisine presents to you the true spirit of Thai dining, street food, and also modern interpretations. The cuisine is designed to be a culinary and authentic celebration of the foods of Thailand. If you're hungry for pad thai, golden noodles, khao soi, Penang curry, rice balls, you can wash it down with some delicious Thai tea. Love Thai Cuisine, conveniently located in South Austin on Brody Lane. Love Thai Cuisine, because everyone needs love.
Do you do other arts and crafts? But you already said so.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, but I have. Interestingly enough, I kind of get a little burned out from visual artistic expression, and so I was trying to figure out what I could do to I don't know, to make something without making a physical thing. And I never really liked to play musical instruments, but for some reason I really got into it in the past couple of years, like maybe 3 or 4 years. And so that's what I do for myself when I feel the need to sort of cleanse my palette of making stuff. And that really helps. So yeah.
How did you find the inspiration on the designs?
Yeah, okay, I keep saying interestingly.
It's okay. You can delete it.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
You know how a lot of times people gripe about when someone makes a suggestion like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. A lot of times people really hate that. They're like, I hate it when people say, you should XYZ because I don't know, they really hate it. But I appreciate that. When somebody says, oh, you should really make me a gift that I can give to chefs, and then I go, oh, okay, I'll make some knife earrings, and then that turns into the bestseller. It's like, oh, I should really listen to what people are asking for because they are my clients. So I get a lot of feedback from people that ask me, oh, could you do a fruit collection? Could you make more mermaids? Could you I don't know, could you make more dog designs or whatever? Nowadays I kind of treat it as a big experiment, and I kind of like think about, well, what is it that people like? What do people collect? What do people want? And I make that. And sometimes I just get like a huge urge to make something really weird, like pancake earrings. Or what did I make recently that was weird? I wanted to make an earring that is a chicken where the head comes off. So I made that for myself. I was just like, this is weird. I want it to exist. So yeah, a little idea will pop in my head like, I wonder if I can make that. And then I make it. And sometimes it sells and sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, I'm very happy.
Is it from your dreams?
Yeah, sometimes I'll have a
like imagination.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just, I guess I can't think of an exact instance in which, let's say I had a dream and was like, oh, I need to make that into reality. But for certainly daydreaming, like, what could exist? What should I make? It used to be a lot stronger, and I remember thinking, I'm never going to run out of ideas. But now, like, months will go by and I won't have designed anything new, which is, kind of sad. But I'm getting used to it.
How do you give advice or recommendation to your clients when they come to like, hey, I have an idea about this, and how do you guide them or giving them suggestions? Yeah,
so if they want me to make a project for them, for example, I usually say, well, here is my limitation on colors. I kind of lay down the limitations first. I try not to say like, oh, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. I kind of say, well, here are the boundaries of what can be done. I have 30 different colors to choose from. My maximum size is this, and the more layers or the more colors, the higher the price. And so I'll ask like, well, what's your price range that you're trying to hit for your product? I guess it's different too when we're talking about somebody who's trying to have me make something that then they will sell, versus if somebody just has a project they want for their own selves. Because when somebody wants to sell something, you have to think about, well, how much money do you want to make off of this? There's more that goes into it when it's for another store, for example, that's trying to make a product to sell versus a custom art piece or what have you. I guess, it's like a consultation. How many colors? What's your budget? Here's my maximum size. I'm trying to think about an instance in which I couldn't do something. Usually it's too complicated, too complex, or just completely the wrong method of fabrication, because I do laser cutting. I don't do 3D printing. I don't carve stuff or sculpt stuff. I mean, I could, but I don't want to advertise that. So that's really how it goes. Lay down what the limitations are, and then do a couple prototypes, sketches, and go from there.
Pretty much custom. Depending on wholesales, right? And like for custom projects.
Right now, for example, I have a project where they want me to make charms for them, and it's a camera company here in town, and they want to make charms for their camera straps. And so they send me the artwork, and I say, oh, well, if you want it to be, $5, then I can do them in one color. If you want them to be, $40, I can certainly make them very fancy and complicated with crystals and different layers and that sort of thing. But I think they're going for the one color item. So they'll send me the artwork. I'll make a sample and I'll say, oh, you want it like 1 inch, 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch, and then do you like these colors? And then they'll kind of pick which one they want. And then from that, I usually have a lot of prototypes, and I sell the prototypes from time to time. I'll have a prototype sample sale and sell all of my prototypes that I have on hand. Like these are all prototypes from various projects. The giant Hello Kitty one, that one didn't make it. That was for Sanrio, but it was going to be too expensive to make it that big, so we made a little tiny small version.
But you made it for Sanrio, USA.
Wow,
that's awesome.
I did it was in 2015, I think. We did a whole Sanrio collection. That was fun.
And then what else?
This is for Austin City Limits, and they actually did, I did make their keychains for them, like their official keychains, which I still do bring when I do Austin City Limits. This was just a funny project with these candy hearts that we put into a custom, it says a Vinca heart, it's like a candy heart box. These were for, actually signed an NDA that I wouldn't talk about it, but that was many years ago, but they're samples that never made it to production. I guess the boss didn't end up liking them. This was for Krista Sparkles. She doesn't design clothes anymore, but she had designed clothes, and I made this little pin for her based off her cat.
Cute.
This was for a brand that, again, also she closed. It was called Pink Samurai, and this was her drawings, and then I made the earrings based off that. This was for Uchiko, a gift card for Uchiko, and 2013, wow, it's a long time ago. They did actually get those. That was their like VIP gift card or whatever. So that was a prototype that made it to production. And then that up there is Tokidoki, and that did not make it to production either. Those are also samples, and I can't sell those. I can't sell any of those because they were other people's artwork that I'm not allowed to sell.
But you're allowed to see here.
Yeah,
only here.
It's like a museum.
Yes. What product that you're so proud of, that you designed and you're so proud of, and why?
Yeah, it's funny because I had that question in the email, and I couldn't think of something for the answer, other than the very silly thing, which is I made a tiny newspaper stand, and I have these little pamphlets they're tiny newspapers, and so I give them out at markets, and I send them in with when people place an order, and people love them because it's just a miniature newspaper. And so I thought, well, how can I get people to take these out at markets? And I was like, I'll make a tiny newspaper stand. I measured a newspaper stand and made my small version, and it really looks like a newspaper stand. And then on the top it says extra, extra. I'll show it. You can take a little video of it. But yeah, I know it's not a piece of jewelry, but that's one where I'm like, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I do also like this ring, and I have a version with an eyeball on it that is really cool, but I didn't design the crystal, so it's not like that exciting. But I did like the idea of how I made the This is called the bezel, the part that goes around the stone. I made the bezel out of acrylic.
This is a secret weapon that you can't tell anyone?
Oh, what? Oh.
What is design?
Oh, no, I mean, I do. It's just weird because this ring is so simple and like innocent, but I get a lot of mean comments about it. Yeah, they're like, I can't believe you're charging for that. It's
Bling,
like
bling.
from a gumball machine. Like, that shouldn't be more than 50 cents. Or, I don't know. It's really weird. The amount of hate, not male, but you know what I mean. Rude comments. I wouldn't even say hateful, just rude. Just really rude comments about it. It's just really strange.
Just buy somewhere else.
Right? I know. Yeah. But people really love it. The people that love it. And then a lot of people, like, one comment that was really funny, it said, like, I am an artist and I can't believe that people are buying this. Like, what, basically accusing me of scamming people by saying that I'm an artist and that I make this and that you can buy it from me. I don't know. It was really weird. But a lot of people said, don't listen to them. They're full of shit. So that's what I'll do.
But you're so proud of these products lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun and very sparkly. I love sparkly things. So yeah. Also, the charm bar has been a really good idea. So I take this like tray of charms out to markets and I let people, pick their favorites, and that turned out really well. It was an idea that is super simple and is not my original idea. Lots of people have charm bars, but this was, I guess, a little different in that it's all acrylic charms.
Yes.
And these are all designs that, I've had, and I shrunk them down to be charms, or maybe I never even made them into earrings, and now I'm like, oh, well, I'll make them as charms. Like this chameleon, which I like the chameleon charm too. This is like one of those things that's simple and makes me happy. It's a chameleon, and I cut it out of clear acrylic. That way it like is always camouflaged, like a chameleon is supposed to be. Silly things like that make me happy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Like this the necklace.
Yeah, this one.
The charm.
And the stars glow in the dark, which is so cute.
Oh, yes.
I love glow in the dark stuff. Yep.
Yes.
And here's like
I
you modeled those
that.
earrings.
I remember that.
Yeah, also made the tiny egg charm.
Yes. How do you deal with the difficulties?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there's general difficulties of managing cash flow and paying bills and all that stuff, but there's a couple of stories that were really integral in developing character, I suppose, of how to deal with I don't know, it's like I'm making jewelry, right? It's not, life or death. So that plays into a lot when I'm worried about meeting certain deadlines. However, there are a few times I can think of where something really bad happened and we were like, how are we going to deal with this? And one of the times was, I think it was 2015, 2016, doesn't matter. It was a while ago, maybe 10 years ago. We got this custom job. It was the largest custom job I'd ever had. And it was for a product that I wasn't particularly proud of. I didn't really like the way it turned out, but the customer was happy, so what does that matter? Anyway, it was one of the largest, physically largest jobs that we'd ever done too. Like the piece was probably this big. It was a trophy. And I was out of the country and KM was here working on it, and we had done the timeline to where like we would definitely get it done on time. But the machine kept breaking down or getting like too dirty to anyway, the machine kept acting up. And we were running out of time, to where when I came back and when I looked at the timeline again and how many pieces we had already cut, I realized I wouldn't make the deadline. And since these were, trophies branded with the year and they were for an event, it could not miss the deadline on this one. This was not a deadline that could be missed. And so I'm like, well, I just got back from a long vacation. I guess I'll just work the night shift. And so for 2 weeks, I worked overnight while KM worked during the day, and we were running the machine 24 hours to get this job done. And we did get it done in time. And then there was a problem of how we were gonna ship it, because it was such a massive job that it was like 1,000 pounds or something. It was huge. But I ended up learning a lot about pallet shipping and, how to store stuff, and somehow we made it out of that one alive. And also I got paid half up front, which was good. So sometimes you can get really nervous about if you're going to get paid or not. But for this job, I was paid half up front and then the other half on delivery. So it worked out. And I don't like working overnight, but I did for 2 weeks, and we pulled through. Another thing that happens quite a bit is we'll make mistakes, like cut something out of the wrong material, or cut it backwards, or I don't know. This happens all the time, and as hard as I try to not make that mistake, it happens sometimes. So what do? I have a B grade sale on that particular item. I'll be like, hey, we cut this in purple instead of in blue or pink. It's on sale now, buy it. And so I don't throw stuff away whenever there's a mistake. Like I've heard stories of, big companies getting in whole bolts of fabric and it's the wrong color, and so they just burn it. That just blows my mind. I use it up, I put it on sale, or I have these mystery bags where, it has little mess ups like that, where it's still a perfectly wearable functional piece. It's just not what I had intended to make it.
No wasting.
No wasting.
With anything like me with leftover.
Yeah, exactly. You just make a big soup or whatever. And then there was one time when we cut the wrong thing, like 400 of them or something. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to add this to the website as a product. And it became a bestseller.
You just never know.
Yeah, so you never know sometimes. Yep. So that worked out really nicely. And I think it even got picked up by Nordstrom.
Congrats.
Yeah. It was a pink gummy bear necklace.
Oh, how did you, get into Nordstrom? I remember that you were asking about.
So back when I did trade shows, I would have people occasionally that would approach me to ask if they could rep the line. And that means like they will take your catalog around and show it to their network of buyers. Usually they have their own showroom somewhere, like in Dallas or in New York, at these trade centers. And there's this one rep group that picked up the line. It was a children's rep group that they represented children's brands, and so I didn't really think of myself as a children's jewelry, but I was like, I'll go with it. So that was how I got into the junior. They knew the Nordstrom buyers. They showed the stuff to the Nordstrom buyers, and they picked it up for their junior section, which was fine. It's just that wasn't the target market I originally had in mind. And then after that, the relationship kind of ended because, like I said, it was kind of just not a match on the, I wanted to make jewelry with curse words or with, knives. They're like, this isn't for kids. Yeah, it's not for kids. It's for young at heart, not for actual children.
That's kind of like, oh, you can see difference. That I try to move forward to a different product. Yeah. Not also, for that age.
Yeah, and kids aren't going to wear giant statement earrings. Like their parents are not going to buy them that. But kids love the jewelry. Like it's so much fun at markets, when little kids come up and they're like so excited. I had these little boys come up last weekend at Austin City Limits, and they were so excited because I had these big snakes. And they were like, we want the snakes, and so they bought the snake keychains. Or the mom was like, all right, you can have the snake.
Stop crying.
Yeah, I was like, I did not intend to attract, I didn't intend for this to be a product for 4-year-old boys, but sure.
Well, that's the next generation.
Right.
They're gonna like, hey, Gen Alpha will support your business soon, right?
Yeah, so that was really cute. And then I have these neighbors that they're like 7 and 9, or no, they're older, 7 and 11, something like that. And they'll come over and just like go to town making stuff or picking up charms, so that makes me happy to see kids, having a great time.
Yeah.
Okay, it's scary to put all of this effort into something and then not know if it's going to sell. And so the subscription box is also a great way for me to be like, well, I know I've got 30 people counting on me to make these awesome earrings. So here I go. And then I get to do something wild and fun and crazy, and I know that it's going to sell. I've also done this other thing. I get hung up on like, well, I don't know if I want to make something because then if it doesn't sell, I'm going to be bummed out, or I also don't want to makes that stuff only because I think it will sell, because it takes the fun out of it. So sometimes I'll launch a product that just has a big question mark, and they'll have a description like, hey, I'm thinking about making anglerfish earrings. If you want them, you can buy them now for like $15, and that's like half the price that they would normally be. So if you want them, buy them now, and then you know, if I get 10 people that want them, I'll make them. Or I have had it, so I'll make them even if only one person gets them. But I'll know like, oh, there's definitely a demand for anglerfish earrings, or oh, there definitely isn't. So I'm not going to go through the effort of taking a nice picture and putting it on the website and advertising it, you know. But sometimes I learn like, oh, people really do want. I'm trying to think of what I did recently, like scorpion earrings, or I'm trying to think about what I did. I don't know. I've had
chicken,
like
animals.
Yeah. I call them like just experimental earrings, but ear, like I emphasize ear in experimental. So I haven't had like a run of those in a while, but I'll do it occasionally, like 3 or 4 experimental designs where it doesn't have a picture and it just has a description. It's on sale, and then that's a good way for me to find out like, oh, people really want XYZ earring. So I'll make more of that.
One question: do you get a lot of satisfaction on your designs?
Yeah, when I have fun designing them, and when I know that people will enjoy them. The subscription box has been a really good way to indulge in that wild, creative design process. Whereas sometimes, you know, if I'm just making a really simple design like a heart or cloud or butterfly, I'm like, I don't really like that one. But, you know, I analyze everything at the end of the year, and if something is doing well, even if it's not my favorite, like I'm gonna let it stay. If people like it, then great. The only time I can think of where I was really, really dissatisfied was that job that I told you about that I stayed up all night for 2 weeks making. And I just really did not like the design. The customer was satisfied, but I personally did not like it. So that's usually when I would not like a design, is if like I'm making it for a customer and it's what they want, but it's not to my taste. And I respect that it's not, you know, may not be what I like, but you know, it's not satisfying.
What advice would you give it to someone who wants to become a jewelry business owner like you?
Yeah. I remember when I first started, I thought, this is gonna be a great product. I'm gonna make 100 of them, and then I would, and then they wouldn't sell. So you gotta make, what I do is I make one and take a picture of it and then see how it goes. Whereas some people, they'll be like, well, I'm gonna just, you know, bet on this horse and make 50 of those or whatever. And I'm very cautious when it comes to making inventory now, because I don't want to overproduce and then have a bunch left over. On the other hand, if you do make a mistake, then you can just put that item on sale and clear it out. So I don't know, learn a little bit about inventory management. That's definitely something. That was also a big problem for me when I was first starting out, was like, when people would order, how would I know how to find the product on my shelf? And I like tried alphabetizing things, but then it would be complicated. Like, well, is this a bird, or is this a sea animal? Is this a sparrow, or is it a bird? You know, or is it is it a hamburger, or is it a sandwich? Like, I didn't know how, like, what to call an item, and then I'd have to remember, like, oh, did I call that a bunny? Is it in the B bucket, or is it a rabbit in the R bucket? So that was ridiculous. So I learned a lot about inventory management and like assigning a product a specific SKU, which is like a short little name for the product, and then assigning it a bin number. So I'll show you my wall of products, but like everything has a number, everything has a location. When you print out the order form, it tells you like what location everything is in, so you can find it. It's a whole other thing that there's just so much more involved than just designing stuff. It's like running a whole factory, which is a lot of work.
Do you do inventory check, like yearly, like other retail?
We check inventory probably twice a year, and then whenever it's it always gets off. I don't know how. We lose things, or we accidentally overship something, or we undership somebody, and then inventory's off, or like somebody forgot to write down that they made 10 of this or whatever. So whenever we, are checking stuff or packing orders, if we notice the inventory's off, we'll fix it. But it's always messy. So yeah, learn about inventory. Also study about pricing and pricing psychology. There's this great book called Confessions of a Pricing Man, which is a good book. It talks about pricing psychology, and you have to price it right. I just watched a video the other day about Vlasic pickles and how they got into this agreement with Walmart, and were selling gallons of pickles for $3 and selling millions of dollars, but losing money because they weren't pricing their product right. What's another one? Yeah, I do have friends that, started a business and didn't know how to price their product, and then ended up losing money, even though they had huge accounts like Whole Foods and, H-E-B, because they weren't pricing it right to make money on the products that they were selling. It doesn't matter if you sell $1 million if you're losing $100,000 every year. So yeah, just learn about all the boring business stuff.
How do you deal with someone try to steal your idea?
That's never fun. So my mom always told me, like, well, if they're stealing your ideas, then they aren't coming up with their own, so you're ahead of them already. That's what she always used to say. But of course, it's different when, let's say a big company steals your idea, and then they sell you and they like undercut you. Yeah. But what I feel like is that, like, and I think Ralph Lauren also said this too about like when people knock off his stuff, it was that if they're gonna go and buy it for like $2 on Temu, they weren't ever my customer to begin with. Like, they didn't appreciate the brand for what it was, and they wouldn't have ever bought it at full price anyway, or even on sale from my site either. Like, the people that buy the knockoffs are just not your customer. Like, somebody who's going to buy a fake Gucci bag, they were never going to buy a real Gucci bag, or buy a fake Ralph Lauren shirt, they were never going to buy a real Ralph Lauren shirt. So that's how I feel about it. I haven't had any problems with like other makers trying to make similar stuff. It's if somebody else makes a knife earring, it's not going to be exactly the same, and I don't own a knife earring, but I would probably be upset if somebody made a heart being stabbed by a knife necklace and tried to pass it off as their own design. But again, if it's in their style and different, then I have to let them. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I don't know the laws here.
Yeah, I mean, there's copyright, I guess, but I mean, okay, I've had somebody steal my entire, they only stole one product. It was the earrings with the knife going in them. And they also stole all of my reviews and photos of my customers with the reviews. So it was like a website that was like chopped heart knife earrings or knife heart earrings. And then it had my photos and videos, and then all of my reviews from my customers. And I was just like, how? They can't do this. This is not cool. So I wrote to Shopify and got it shut down. That was over the line. That's not allowed and accepted or tolerated. And then Temu has stolen my pictures, but they've stolen everybody's pictures. And again, I feel like if anybody's shopping on Temu, they're not my customer. Like, I don't like it, and none of my customers like it. Everybody knows that they're unethical and make really cheap knockoffs. And so I don't really worry about them. Also, I think they're not making any money. It's another one of those things where it's like, oh sure, they're doing $1 billion in sales, but they're losing 100 million or something like that. Something insane. So hopefully they'll just go bankrupt like Wish.
Yeah, I got a scam from a friend. And he's been texting me a lot about Temu. Sign up to get these, blah, blah, blah. So I have to block you. I'm sorry.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. I really hate it. I really hate sites like Temu and Shein. Before that, I didn't like Forever 21 because they copied people and knocked them off, and where are they now? Oh, gone.
They're gone. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't come up with any original ideas.
Yeah, just mass producing.
Yeah. So the trick is to just like learn what you can about business and try to hang in there as long as you can. But it's been a really hard year, so I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit with making everything meet this year, but we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, think about anything in the future for next year. Anything that you might think of. Maintain inventory.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I want to make it more simple for myself to manage. Less designs, more that I'm proud of, more interesting, fewer of them, more strange and unusual, because then companies like Shein and Temu don't want to copy that because there's not a big enough market for like really weird stuff. I would really love to get into more big art, and maybe not so much laser cut stuff, and maybe get into other kinds of art, or I don't know, maybe try to produce some kind of music. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe the eyelashes, the paper lashes.
Oh yeah,
you gave
maybe
it to
some
me.
paper eyelashes. Yeah. I don't know. I'm at a weird point in like midlife crisis where I'm just like, I don't know what I want to do anymore. And I feel like I need to figure that out. After I do all my accounting and bookkeeping at the end of the year, I'll have to really think about what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Amanda, would you like to, what's the plug-in for you?
Awesome. Well, I'm doing a lot of markets this fall, so come see me at Vibe Dallas, Vibe Austin, Blue Genie, what's the other one? Blood Over Texas, Horror for the Holidays. I'll be at West Coast Craft in San Francisco. And what else am I doing? Oh, there's a new one in Austin called Oh What Fun, which is downtown. So I'll be at all those markets. Of course, it's always online, 24/7 at VincaUSA.com, and at a variety of local boutiques near you.
So you're gonna give us some list, right?
Oh, a list of boutiques, sure.
Yes.
List of boutiques.
Yes.
Give you a list. You can put it here, or I can say them like Terra Toys. How do those old ads go where they're like naming the songs as they scroll down the screen trying to sell albums? Anyway, Terra Toys, Paperwork, A-Town, Blue Elephant. Who else? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I need to find out. Sfingday, Sfingday. They're in Austin. Also, for other towns, like in, I don't know, the Andy Warhol Museum, or at the
What museum
San
are you in?
Francisco Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco. So that's cool. Being able to say like, oh, I get a check from the MIT gift shop. That's really fun. Like, who gets a check from MIT? I do. Let's see. Yeah, and San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, and what's the one? The Kinokuniya bookshop in San Francisco?
Yeah,
but just the San
Kinokuniya.
Francisco one.
Oh, not here.
Not here.
They should.
I know. I read
Come
to them.
on.
I sent them samples.
Exactly.
Right. It's a whole thing. The trying to get new accounts is. I feel very like a solicitor, like those door-to-door salesmen. I'm like, hi, I know you're eating dinner. Let me bother you. I hate that. It's my least favorite part of running a business is the sale. I don't mind sales at like a market. When people come up to you and they're clearly interested. I don't like the soliciting where I have to go to stores or email them or call them and say, hey, would you like to look at my brand? That feels very uncomfortable. And I'm pretty sure they don't like it. But I'll send samples and letters in the mail.
Check it out. If you want to be on People on the Block, drop us an email.